Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV, episode number 332 for Tuesday, the 28th of January 2014. Nice to see you. I'm Robbie Ferguson.
I am Sasha Dermatis, and it is cold here. Yeah. All right, excited this week. Coming up in the newsroom, the FBI are cracking down on several hackers for hire services and have made a number of arrests already. LogMeIn has stiffed its users by giving them just 7 days to pay up or to move out. Starting to see a trend, Google just bought UK artificial intelligence startup DeepMind. And Bitcoin developers hope to replace the current internet with something new that pays you to use it. In Bitcoin, of course. Stick around. These stories are coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Sasha. Tonight, we are going to learn about this year's Consumer Electronics Show's best mobile app.
Yes.
It's going to help you to manage your passwords across devices, as well as maintain your digital legacy. So stick around. So much to do. Totally messed up that line. So much time, so little to do.
Wait.
Reverse that. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a great show.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. Starring Sasha Dermatis, Hillary Rumble, Krista Wells, Eric Kidd, and your host, Robbie Ferguson.
If you're like most people, trying to keep track of your different internet passwords can be like herding cats. Now take a guy like Don here, who uses the internet to work, socialize, organize, and play. He's on Facebook and Twitter, he's got 4 different email accounts, he blogs about his passion for doing daredevil stunts, manages his investments, Skypes, sells things, shops, watches movies, and on and on and on. And each and every account he uses has its own username and password to keep track of. But fortunately, there's an easy way to securely save and protect your password on all your phones, tablets, or computers. It's called PasswordBox. PasswordBox is a virtual safety deposit box using the same encryption methods as the US government, and only you have the master password to unlock it. Adding passwords is simple. PasswordBox automatically saves them while you surf the web. Then just click on the site you want to log into and ta-da! Like magic, you're logged in. It's a real time saver. What's also great is that PasswordBox allows you to share your passwords with your family or coworkers during your life. And even after. Yep, that's right. If Don here is really smart, he'll pass his important accounts onto his loved ones and preserve his digital legacy before attempting to jump the Grand Canyon on a Vespa next month. Good luck, Don. So join Don here and download PasswordBox for free now at PasswordBox.com.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. So nice to have you here. Chat room, nice to see you. Tonight we are joined by Maeghan Smulders. She's the Director of Product Marketing and Communication for PasswordBox. Very exciting product. Maeghan, first of all, nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you for having me.
Maeghan, congratulations. We hear that you came away with the best app at CES this year.
Which is incredible. Congratulations.
So we got to know, tell us a little bit about this app, the product that is PasswordBox.
Yeah, what makes it so exciting?
For sure. Well, I know you guys just played the video there, but we're effectively the full digital life manager. So not just your passwords and things like that, but if you do online shopping or if you're storing different information like notes or addresses, memberships, you can now store it all in a digital wallet within PasswordBox. We have encrypted notes, so if there's any personal things, if you use services like Evernote and you actually want to keep all of your information secure and locally encrypted on your device, we manage all of that. And then the unique ability to actually pass on all of your digital stuff if something ever happens to you.
Sure. So we've seen password managers and things before. What makes PasswordBox in particular so important to our progressively digitized lives?
Yeah, well, I mean, the inspiration, I guess, behind PasswordBox actually for a CEO came from his mom. So he was visiting her for the weekend out in a town kind of far out of Montreal. And she was uploading 3 generations of family photos, hard copies, to Picasa. And that same weekend, she just so happened to be in a car accident. And nothing bad happened. Okay. But it was that idea, like, how do you manage and protect all of your digital stuff? And so being able to do that, with passwords and login information, we have Picasa accounts, we have Facebook accounts, we have banking accounts, we have utility accounts. The amount of information we're putting online daily is growing at a substantial rate. And so being able to keep it all organized and easily accessible, but not just for you, but for the people that you care about, or coworkers, friends, family, it's really important to do that. So I guess kind of our really unique features is, one, our legacy. We're the only password manager that gives you the ability to do that.
That is
we sync
really
to
cool.
all devices. So if you use tablets, if you're using mobile phones or desktops, you can instantly have access to all of your information no matter where you are. And it's always protected locally on your device. And so what a lot of companies don't actually say is that they encrypt your information in the cloud. But that means that from your computer or your phone, it gets sent up there, but there's chances that it could get intercepted. Now, we make sure that it's all done locally on your device before leaving anywhere. And so the only way that you can decrypt it is with your master password, and that's the secret key that only you know.
So we're looking at we're getting so like, that was a simple question. You just gave me all these amazing answers.
Yeah, I was really excited.
Obviously a very exciting product, because this takes password management all to an entirely new level. First of all, let's back up. Is it called Legacy Locker?
Legacy Locker.
So we actually acquired a company in San Francisco, Legacy Locker, that also had the same passion for protecting all of your digital stuff if something ever happens to you. And so we've been growing on that feature.
I'm sure we've all had that fear in the back of our minds, especially as I say, our lives are becoming more and more progressively digitized. All of my family photos are stored in an encrypted backup. So... and everything. I mean, my entire life is online, really.
On a personal note, we had a massive loss in my family, and there was a lot of trouble on the other side, because it is a digital world, and it wasn't like he was in a situation where he didn't have PasswordBox, I'll tell you. And it's a lot of backtracking and backpedaling. So this is a time and energy and heart saver for sure.
Yeah, and we're taught these days, I think, Maeghan, to use different passwords for everything that we do.
Complicated ones too that are really difficult to remember.
Yeah. So
we had a user that he was a lawyer, and his assistant passed away, and she managed all of his passwords. And so not only was he dealing with legal bills, he was dealing with trying to get into the computer, but then he was 6 months behind work because he couldn't access those passwords easily because he had somebody else managing it for him. So he said that the legacy feature is a lifesaver, and that it's it's something nobody likes to talk about, but it's like you said, it's more important with the more info that we store online.
That's huge. So all of your passwords are managed by one master password? Is that what happens? Yeah. Okay. And that master password doesn't have to be huge and complicated, does it?
Well, the goal is that it's the last one you have to remember. So the goal is to make it complicated, but it's, when we say it's the last one you remember, if you actually forget that password, there's no way that you have access to your account. So we're a zero knowledge based company, which means that we don't store your master password anywhere. It's only known by you, and it's kept in your head, which protects you, because you're the only key that gives you the ability to access your information.
And if I follow what you're saying correctly, all of the data that I submit is encrypted at my site, transmitted to you in an encrypted format. So even if you had a password reset feature, that data would be lost because it's the wrong key, right?
Well, if you had a password reset, you would have to have access to the actual master password information, and that you wouldn't be able to decrypt the information that's already stored there.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's fantastic. I mean, because that's one of our biggest security concerns is if I set up something like this, what's to stop the interception of that information. And I think the fact is with the amount of information that PasswordBox is able to store about my user accounts, it would make you a real target for hackers and identity thieves who want to get access to bank account information. And basically, you've got a repository, a box that has all of my passwords for all of my stuff. And you've already addressed that. You've already addressed that.
Exactly. Well, and again, like a lot of people get scared at the thought of this too, but if you use the same password for all of your online accounts, who's to say a hacker doesn't get into, your Facebook account and then uses that on your banking and everything like that? And so, having a tool where you can customize, we have a strong password generator that actually allows you to create 26 character passwords, complex ones. If you check it out, it's symbols, numbers, digits, the whole works. I know I wouldn't be able to remember it, but, it stores them individually. And so again, the more layers that you can put, there's no one silver bullet to security ever. It's about making sure that you have different layers. And so PasswordBox gives you a variety of them in a very simple form to protect you against those things.
Right. Well, I mean, I would run the risk. If my phone got stolen or lost, I have it so that I'm always logged in on Facebook, right? Which is horrible. But I realize, but it's because I don't want to always type in the password.
Totally.
Right? So if I had PasswordBox, right, then it types in the password for me. Is that what happens?
It does, yeah. So you're able to log out of all your accounts and you can instantly go back in without all the hassle of sitting there and typing.
Right.
But then it also gives you the ability to, so let's say you lost your phone and oh gosh, that's the worst, right? Especially if you don't have a passcode. You can go to any other device that has, so maybe your computer has it too, and you can change your master password and it automatically logs you out of everything. So again, it protects all the stuff
that's
already.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm starting to see why you got Best App of the Year.
This is perfect.
This is sounding really, really good. So what else does PasswordBox do as far as, you mentioned a little bit, you touched on credit cards and things. So
I got really excited.
I know, this is great. So what can we do? Why would I store credit card information? Is this so that it can autofill things as I'm making purchases, or?
Yeah, so the autofill feature is coming soon, but right now you can store that information, which makes it a lot easier if you do, let's say, a lot of online shopping. So I hate it when I'm about to, whether it be on my phone or on my computer, and I'm, on Amazon about to buy something or another online site, and then it gets to the checkout and it's like, oh, I left my wallet, my credit card on the other side of the room. I'm not going to buy this now. I'll do it later.
We've always got our phone with us.
Exactly. You've always got your phone, or if you can download it, it's on a desktop, phones, tablets, all devices. So you can just go in and automatically input that information without ever having to leave your computer or your phone, that kind of thing. So another thing you can do is put in addresses with the secure notes if you have sensitive information that you want to store. And it's interesting, even with being just moving to Montreal and all that stuff, there's a lot of different things you need to remember, whether it be, PIN codes, whether it be different, access codes and things like that. We have the ability to store any sort of information, and again, all protected within your device.
Very good. This is Category 5 Technology TV. Tonight we are talking with Maeghan Smulders. She's the Director of Product Marketing and Communication at PasswordBox. Very, very exciting product. I know that Legacy Locker is one of your big kind of, wow features. So what it does is PasswordBox stores all my passwords, all of my private information in an encrypted format in such a way that even PasswordBox themselves cannot read that data. But how does it work? How does PasswordBox receive the notification that I was in an accident suddenly you need to distribute my passwords to my wife or to my children, or however that would work? What's the step in event of my death, say?
Yeah, so when you first create an account, you're given the option to assign a digital beneficiary. And so you can do this at any time. You can add as many as you want. You can remove as many as you want. And when you do that notification, it actually sends that person an email and says, will you be my digital heir? So they accept, so they're aware of it. And they almost act as your liaison, so that if you do ever pass away, they will come to PasswordBox and say, okay, this person has passed, and I have a death certificate, and we'll validate it with the authorities to make sure that that situation has occurred.
Yep.
And we have a patented technology that allows us to trigger the information. So we are able to verify that that person is your digital beneficiary and that, that you two were connected. And once you assign that person, your two master passwords almost kind of layer each other. And so their master password will be able to decrypt it only when we trigger the event that it receives, and it goes from their password box directly to your password box. So again, none of the information is ever exposed or available to anybody except the people that are assigned to have access to it.
So Maeghan, is there some form of connection between my beneficiary and my account that allows the beneficiary's account the decryption key? What's to stop a malicious user from hacking your servers and becoming a beneficiary and then transferring all my passwords over to their account?
So the trigger event that happens is unable to happen unless, one, we're able to validate with the authorities, two, to ensure that the two people are to say they are. We also trigger the person who has passed away that says, are you still there, to make sure that,
Right.
the entire situation is valid. But then lastly, none of the information is decryptable without a master password. And unless you give the proper trigger event to go to the beneficiary's box, they have no access to it. It's completely restricted. So if you're using Box on a daily basis, you're the only one who can access it at any point of time.
Wow.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've really thought it all out. It's a vast product as far as the how the encryption works, and I'm still trying to get my head around how you've built such a sophisticated layered system. Wow. I know that I've had the thought, what would happen if I passed away, and my whole even just the show. I mean, every episode of the show is stored on S3. Who's going to keep track? Who's going to keep up with those bills and be able to log into the account and move things around if they need to? It's such a simple thing as that, but.
Yeah, McAfee actually did a study, and it's interesting when you put it into perspective, but they said that about the average user says they have $55,000 worth of digital assets online.
Wow.
And so, that's domain names, that's pictures.
That's not even including Jot's Entropia Universe account. So.
How much does PasswordBox cost for me to
to
download
use.
it.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know if you're familiar with Dropbox, but we're a freemium model. So anybody can download it for free, and you can get 25 passwords. You can test out the product, see if you like it. And then after that 25 passwords, it's $11.99 a year. It syncs to all of your devices, and you have unlimited password storage and information in there. So less than $1 a month.
Okay. And so would my beneficiary also have to have PasswordBox? Is that how it works?
Yeah. So they would be able to sign it for free.
They would do the free and
yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Ideal.
So just a couple of things that I want to ask before we run out of time here, Maeghan. What about businesses? You mentioned about this lawyer customer, and I think, you know, I've experienced the product. It's fantastic from a personal standpoint. What is there for the businesses who want to be able to keep track of multi-level passwords and maybe even user accounts? Do they just sign up for accounts? What's there for the business user?
Yeah, so we're slowly developing in the I guess the enterprise version of PasswordBox. We're not quite there yet.
Okay.
But you know, we offer features like secure password sharing. So you're able to share passwords instantly before anybody passes away with somebody. They won't have any visible access to the password, but they can log into the account with the instant login. So it gives you the ability to, one, control who has access to it, but then also revoke it if that person, let's say, is no longer there.
Yep.
And if you update the password, which you should do on a regular basis, they get that information as well. So everybody's logging in, they're happy, and they're being productive and working.
Fantastic. So PasswordBox also provides a very sophisticated plugin for your web browser. Firefox, Chrome, doesn't really matter what you're running. And I noticed, Maeghan, that on your website, and this is a question from our chat room as well, you know, is there a Linux version? And on your website, it does say Windows and Mac. And I'll just let you know, we're on Linux here, and we have lots of viewers that are on Linux. It's a browser plugin, so it does work on Linux, absolutely. You need to add a Tux Penguin to your website. That's our official request, so it works.
We do support it, but often we'll get a few bugs here and there. But if anyone uses Linux and they're experiencing anything, just let us know, and we're usually able to fix it pretty quick.
Perfect. There's no extra installation that you need to go through. Just go to the website. We have a short link. It's cat5.tv/password to keep it nice and easy. Go to cat5.tv/password. You'll be able to add that to your browser. What's neat about the PasswordBox add-on for the browser is that whole automatic login process. Maybe we can just talk a little bit just briefly about how PasswordBox enhances. It's not just for the cell phone or the mobile device. So I've got instant access to my passwords both on screen and for logon. So if I'm at a computer in a public place, I can actually look at my phone, get my password, and enter it into the computer. But also on my personal computer, by installing this add-on, it's instant access to anything just with the click of a mouse button.
I mean, like the worst is actually having to type in a password, especially if you're trying to get a bunch of stuff done and you're always changing them. And so this way, you just have to recognize the site that you're going to and either one click in the little extension, but we also have a start page. So with big buttons right on your home page, you're able to see the websites that you most commonly use and click, and it fills in the information and logs you in. So you're not typing, you're not memorizing. PasswordBox is doing it all for you.
Fantastic. So if someone steals my laptop and it has PasswordBox on it, and I haven't yet deactivated or changed my password, is there anything that locks that system out automatically?
Yeah, so there's an auto lock feature, and you can do it to be either an instant auto lock or a set time period. So anywhere from a few minutes to a couple hours, depending on what your preferences are. And then again, if you lose your computer, you can go to a mobile device and change the master password so it locks out everything automatically as well.
Great.
Oh, that's incredible.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I believe we are giving
yes.
PasswordBox is giving a free. Is it Pro link? Is that or Pro?
Yeah, it's a a free lifetime membership to PasswordBox, so you can enjoy all the features for life and anyone you share it with.
Fantastic. So a free lifetime membership to PasswordBox can be yours. I encourage you to get over to their website. It's cat5.tv/password. Sign up for a free account. Send us an email live at category5.tv just to let us know that you've done it, and include with that your email address that you used to sign up. So as I understand, Megan, what we're going to do is we're going to do the draw next Tuesday night on the show. So we've got a chance for anyone who's watching this on YouTube or Miro, Roku, wherever you're watching the show, to sign up for PasswordBox. Send us an email live at category5.tv, and we're going to do a draw, and you're going to actually activate their account based on the email address.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, nice and easy.
Excellent.
So, Megan, fantastic product. Really, really enjoying just the ease of use. Even for me, I mean, I'm a tech guy, but I really find it a little bit frustrating to because I know in my head I need to have new strong passwords. I need to be changing them all the time. I need to have multiple different passwords. It gets to be a little much.
I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. For me, it's too complicated to have all of those passwords, and I tend to lean towards breaking the rules and having the same password for everything. So this, I know, I'm sorry, Megan, and everybody.
But now we make it easy. So,
Exactly.
So there you go. That's a good start.
That's it. So it's multifold. It's going to help you It's going to help you.
It's going to help me
to operate more safely your digital life.
So that I'm not digitally completely transparent.
Same password on everything.
Yeah.
Make it a strong master password on PasswordBox, and then make them strong passwords for all your sites, even insanely strong, because it's going to remember them for you anyways. They can be crazy passwords.
Wow. Impenetrable fortress of digital life. That's what I'll be.
There you go. Love it.
Megan, thank you so much for your time. And don't forget, we are going to be giving away a copy of that next week. So get over to cat5.tv/password and sign up today for your free account. Thanks, Megan.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Take care. This is Category 5 Technology TV. I'm your host, Robbie Ferguson.
And I am Sasha Dermatis.
How cool is that?
I know. That was amazing. Love it.
I've been looking for something like that, so it's really interesting that they popped up on the map. So check them out, folks.
Very,
really cool stuff.
Very cool. Speaking of mobile apps, we have our mobile site.
We sure do. You want to take that? There you go.
do. The mobile site, mcat.cat5.tv.
m.cat5.tv.
Yes.
There it is.
There.
Check it out. We've got live streaming video right now. We've got live streaming audio. We've also got on-demand video. You can check out our photo gallery, which is always growing. We've got a camera over there. Smile, Sasha.
Yes. And it
Keep
takes...
smiling.
Oh, keep smiling. Oh, jeez.
That'll be in the gallery. It's every 10 seconds we've got what's called an intervalometer, and so our photo gallery is always growing. It's on our website, category5.tv. Lots of fun to see what happens behind the scenes. Also, it's available in our mobile site.
Do we go through and edit out those bad pictures?
Just post them all. Why not?
1,000 pictures.
I post the
awesome.
funniest.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
My side profile, not good.
You ready for it?
Okay, I'm ready for the news.
All right.
Here are the top stories from the Category5TV newsroom. The FBI has arrested 5 people in connection with what it says are several hacking for hire websites. 2 men have been charged with running and 3 others with being customers of websites that allegedly offered to obtain access to emailed accounts. The swoop against the sites was coordinated with police forces in Romania, India, and China. 6 other alleged administrators of such sites were arrested as part of the overseas element of the operation. That is scary. I mean, it's good that it's happening now that arrests are being made, but
That America's going overseas and arresting people for setting up these things. But yeah, to think that there
Hacking
are
for
businesses that, like, what is it? Is it like a jobopolis for hackers?
it is kind of funny. I just finished reading The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo trilogy, and
Okay.
she is like a world-class, top-notch hacker.
Nice.
And so all of
So
a
you learned
sudden,
lots.
I'm scared. Like, and
Oh,
I
really?
am the one that has no passwords at all, pretty much. So
Oh,
now I
boy.
realize hacking can
You're gonna
happen.
change that.
Changing it
You're gonna
now.
change that. All right.
Okay. Free services are fading with every passing day. The latest to go is the remote connection service LogMeIn, which has offered a free version of its service for the past 10 years. Users could pay for additional features, but basic use was covered for free. This morning, however, users received an unpleasant surprise in their email boxes. Starting on January 28th, 2014,
That's today.
that is today, free user accounts will be inaccessible. Users have 7 days to make up their minds. For users of the LogMeIn free service, the only way to keep your account is to buy a $49 year-long subscription for 2 computers. The offer says that it's $49 a year, but the fine print says that that is only an introductory price, which is good for the first year.
Oh my.
I know. And for the 2 computers, I wonder, does that mean that you'd have to buy another $49 package for another 2 computers
Well,
if
they
you
have
wanted?
a tiered pricing model, so it starts at $49 for basically the home user who has maybe 2 computers that they want to remote into. But all these businesses that were using and I know maybe it's a gray area because they want you to spend money, of course, if you're in business. But a lot of people used it just to be able to get into their computer system, and the free version they understood had restrictions like no printing and
Right.
different things like that, but really was helpful for those users who want to be able to get into their computer from the road.
It seems so odd to have such a short window of
1
time.
week?
1
That's
week.
insulting, I think, to users. They've done this before. I don't know if you remember. It was a year or 2 ago where they made some major changes, and it was just like unbelievable. They dropped they dropped it down from unlimited accounts to 10 or something like that. But fact is lots of people are looking at TeamViewer as an alternative.
Okay,
Because it
so
does
there
have
are-
a free version. So if you're going to pay $49, well, TeamViewer offers it for free for home use.
I would pay $49 a year to a company that I thought respected me.
Exactly.
It's the lack of respect that
That's
I
a
would
big
say.
thing. That's
Yeah.
a big thing. So 7 days.
7 days.
I'm overseas or whatever, and I use my tablet to access my computer back here in Barrie, and I get 7 days notice, and I'm there for 2 months. And
Yeah.
it's like, excuse me, my credit card isn't accepted because it's, I'm in Iran and they're, blocking transactions from.
Or truth be told, not
So many
everybody has
scenarios.
$49 on 1 week's notice. Some people really have to budget things out.
Or some people might just look at it and say, what are they doing? What kind of business is this?
As you can expect, long-time LogMeIn users are irate, both at the sudden price increase and the abrupt time window provided to decide if they will keep their account. Since the changes were announced on LogMeIn's community page this morning, more than 56 pages of responses have been posted. Wowzers.
Wow.
Okay. Google has been developing its artificial intelligence and robotics division with a number of recent acquisitions, and now they have bought the UK startup DeepMind for a reported £400 million, making,
Wow.
making the artificial intelligence firm its largest European acquisition so far. DeepMind was founded by a 37-year-old neuroscience and former teenage chess prodigy Demi Hassabis, along with Shane Legg and Mustafa Suleiman. The artificial intelligence company specializes in algorithms and machine learning for e-commerce and games. Major technology firms such as Google, Facebook, IBM, Yahoo have been increasingly focused on developing artificial intelligence as a new source of business. Google, for example, has been developing self-driving cars and robots, and last May announced a partnership with NASA in launching the Quantum Artificial Intelligence Lab. This is incredible.
It's exciting.
I know. The Quantum Artificial Intelligence Lab is aimed at using supercomputers and complex mathematical formulas to help improve aeronautical science and space exploration. Earlier this year, the company bought military robot maker Boston Dynamics, and in 2012 hired futurist, inventor, and entrepreneur Ray Kurzweil to lead an engineering team focused on machine learning and language processing. What does the future bring for Google and the world of technology?
A little bit scary if I was a conspiracy theorist.
Thinking that Google's taking over the world?
Well, kind of like, okay, we've got Google Glass, and so that they got these things on thousands of people's faces that are able to send information and data, and and they've got the Street View cars, and they've collected so much information about our world.
There is nothing that they it's not even a conspiracy theory. There is nothing that Google doesn't know about you if you are in the digital world. There is nothing
except my passwords.
Yeah,
because my passwords are,
unless you've ever
PasswordBox.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, Google is incredible, and now here they are buying up robots and space exploration,
artificial intelligence. And these are companies that have established themselves as big names in the robotic fields and in the artificial intelligence field. So, okay, let's amalgamate everything together. We've got robotic dogs that can think for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and
there's a lot of potential for interesting things.
Oh,
and robotic cars.
And is it Google that I read in the news the last time? Is it Google that can mimic what you would respond on social networking and respond for you? So they'll think for you.
They're already thinking artificial intelligence.
I feel like Google is just some skinny old man in the corner doing this, like a little old wizard. Taking over.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
An ambitious project has been launched that developers hope could one day replace current internet. BitCloud aims to harness the same methods used to mine bitcoins to provide services currently controlled by internet service providers, ISPs, and corporations. Individuals would perform tasks such as storing, routing, and providing bandwidth in return for payments. The founders are searching for developers for the project. We'll start by decentralizing the current internet, and then we can create a new internet to replace it. That blows my mind. A new internet. Just as Bitcoin miners provide computing powers that are rewarded for solving complex mathematical equations with virtual currency, so individual net users would be rewarded based on how much bandwidth they contribute to the BitCloud network. So
isn't that interesting, eh?
That is ambitious. And wow.
Well, yes, it is. Yes, it is ambitious.
Get the full stories at category5.tv/newsroom. The category5.tv newsroom is researched by Roy W. Nash with contributions by our community of viewers. If you have a news story you think is worthy of on-air mention, email newsroom@category5.tv. For the category5.tv newsroom, I am Sasha Dermatis.
Thanks, Sasha.
You're welcome, Robbie.
Rats.
Rats? What is going on?
Hey. Rat says, here's a screenshot. Can you please sit a little closer to Sasha? It's not quite working on his screen, so... yeah. There you go. We'll see what we can do there.
I don't always read the news with my eyes closed,
do I? Shrink the window or something.
What's going on with me there?
Can I shrink the window?
Uh-oh.
There you go. Hey, chat room. Nice to see ya. Invincible Mutant TikTok. Good guy. Rats.
Yeah.
Yo. Hey, Jameson. Nice to see ya.
Everybody's on tonight.
Did you see that they've got a new Doctor Who? Just putting that out there.
Who?
Andrew? Doctor Who.
Who?
New character and new.
No, I actually
new
know
actor
nothing
guy.
about Doctor Who. I'm sorry.
I just thought I'd bring it up because
Yeah.
I'll bet you that would spark a conversation in the chat room.
Oh,
I see you've got this wonderful, gorgeous new T-shirt.
yes.
Look at that, folks.
My new very favorite T-shirt.
I see that it has 5 out of 5 stars as reviewed at merch. No, I'm still learning the URLs.
Right.
Shop.category5.tv.
Yes, I give it a 5-star rating. It is comfortable.
Yeah.
It is luxurious, really good quality, and it's short sleeve, which I will say, in minus bazillion
Sure.
weather is.
Summer's coming.
Yeah, summer is coming. It's like the opposite of Game of Thrones. Summer is coming, and I am prepared.
Our online shop, our merch store, is just a fun way for us to raise some funds for some of the needs that we have for the studio build. We also want to purchase a new camera, and that's something you can actually donate specifically through the store. We have donation options where you can donate for a new camera or donate for even simple things like helping us pay the internet bills. So there's some interesting things there, but there's also merchandise that's branded to Category 5 T-shirts and things like that, and we encourage you to check those
logos.
out. Don't be afraid when you see that your T-shirt is on back order, because we actually what we do is so that we don't have to warehouse everything. We accumulate orders, then we process it, and they're actually manufactured for you, and everything is done through ethical manufacturing processes, and all the information is on our website. But so we're very particular about the quality of the product and how it's manufactured.
Yes,
So-
that it's not sweatshops.
Exactly. So check out shop.category5.tv. Thank you so much for your support.
Excellent.
They look great.
They feel great too.
Yes.
Welcome to our new registered viewers.
Indeed.
So,
You wanna do it?
I do. Well, I want to do
Okay.
some of them.
Oh, well, she
I will
stopped right
do-
at the first one.
I will do all
Want
of
me to
them
do it?
that I can do.
Okay.
Easy Tiger, Marky
Oh,
Mark.
you've skipped over some.
Yeah.
Well, how about I say greetings to Fad Jim and Rico Shooter.
Right. And also Lyndon D 73 something.
It's probably like a
Do-do-do-do-do.
maybe it's
That's
like
what it
a license plate number or something at the end there.
In which case, yeah, it's exhilarating.
Category5.tv is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Cat5.tv/TPN and the International Association of Internet Broadcasters. Cat5.tv/IAIB. Ready for some viewer questions?
That sounds so much better when you do it. I need
Everything
to learn.
does.
Hey, now. I am ready for your questions.
All right.
This is
Hey,
a
folks,
question.
Thanks for sending in questions.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is a question from Ray. Says, I'm sorry.
Hey, Ray.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I really enjoyed your show, episode 236, on creating an online TV show with Telestream Wirecast. And I was hoping that you could share with me some of your settings that you have on the Behringer Ultramizer Pro. I just picked up a used Ultramizer Pro for a web show that I might be putting together, and I would like to try to dial in some of your settings to start. Thanks for a great show.
Sure.
Thanks, Ray.
Ray, thanks for the question. I was afraid that it might cause a rift in the space-time continuum on a internet webcast to demonstrate how to generate a internet webcast.
Oh,
Thanks for the kind laughter. That was polite.
no, I get it now.
Ray, okay, well let's back up just a second, Ray. You and I know what an Ultramizer Pro is. Sasha?
No clue.
No clue.
Not a clue.
Ultramizer Pro is one of the things that make this stream sound amazing.
Oh.
Right? It sounds great.
It sounds, yeah.
I can raise my voice like that and didn't clip your speakers, didn't make you go, ah.
Oh.
And I can whisper and you can still hear me perfectly. Everything that the Ultramizer Pro does is basically make our levels nice. It's a compressor, a gate, and it's affordable. It's from Behringer. Behringer is known to make good digital audio rack systems for a fair price.
Mm-hmm.
So what the Ultramizer Pro does basically is it keeps our levels good. So if there's anything that's really, really loud or really, really quiet, it's all going to kind of level itself out. It's all going to sound really, really nice. That's one of the things in our audio chain. So let's see.
Okay.
Okay, this is our live audio rack. You can tell that on the Ultramizer Pro because we've got levels there. Okay, so Sasha, you can see this. Everybody
I can see
this.
yeah.
So here's our mixer. This is a Behringer Xenix 1002B, which is just a basic mixer, and you can't even really see that in the shot. The best way to get good sound out of this is to get a DS9 style Star Trek communicator pin and stick it there. Best thing to do. These are great boards. I mean, for the price and everything, that's great. Category 5 sticker, very important to your rig. You can get those at shop.category5.tv. This is the Ultramizer Pro. You'll see that as I get really loud, it goes red, and that means it's actually turning down the volume. As I speak quietly, these levels here are actually being... this is my input level here and here, left and right. These are my output levels, so you'll see that the levels here are actually the same when I speak quietly versus when I speak loudly.
Oh,
right? So it's actually turning up the volume when I speak quietly and turning it down when I speak loudly. And so you see these output levels never ever change. They look perfect, okay? So it's a really complicated device to set up. I'll admit that to you, Ray. So I understand why you're sending in your question. It's quite complicated. And you'll see that we're on processor save. I don't know what you call it. The saved setting number 16, because you can save your own settings. So we actually went through 16 different tests before we found one that we liked, and we've never changed it since. So when we first got our Ultramizer Pro, we started out with trying things out, and you just can't be afraid to try things. So here we've got our maximum output level. I've got it set to minus 13 decibels. And you can adjust that. That's the maximum output, okay? So as you see, and the way that I set that is to install Goldwave on my Windows computer and monitor the input levels and make sure that the levels look really quite nice as I'm testing. So if I turn it up and it's getting too loud, then I can know to turn it down a little bit. The Ultramizer is what basically cleans up the sound and also helps to bring up the levels if they're too quiet. So I've got that set with a, I guess that's the sensitivity of 100. No, that's the... There's the speed is 25, so it's quite quick. So you're going to change the speed. I'm just going to kind of walk through my settings. So you see, I increase by up to 12 decibels if I'm quiet. And density is, I think that's density. I can't really see it from my angle. You probably see it better. But that's 100, speed 25, decibels 12. And you know what? It's been a long time since I've even configured this. So to be quite honest, some of the settings are now forgotten because it's been working so well for us. Stereo width, I don't really play with because we don't want a surround sound on the show. Mm-hmm. The denoiser, this is very important. This is a gate. And so you see that I've got this set to minus 48 decibels. That means that if it gets quieter than minus 48, it will actually turn off our microphones. So if I be quiet, and Sasha too. Our microphones shut right off, and you heard a little bit of a, as the levels came back up when I started speaking, and that is by, sensitivity of 0, and it will basically, as soon as I start talking, it will jump on if I go beyond minus 48. So theoretically, if I'm pretty quiet with the denoiser, the threshold and sensitivity, if I'm fairly quiet, you won't hear footsteps upstairs or bouncy balls because it's not going to be louder than minus 48. But as soon as I start talking, now my microphones are equalized and leveled, and so you're going to hear everything. Nice and clean, though. Left and right editing. Exciter is what kind of improves the sound quality just by exciting the sound. It adds a little bit of Christmas sound. I'm going to show you the BBE Sonic Maximizer is the one that we really use for that. But the tune, the process is set to 44 and 12 kilohertz. That's the frequency. Super bass, don't really use that much because of the nature of what we're doing. We're not playing techno music. Process is set to 22 and the frequency is set to 80 hertz. So that's increasing the depth of my voice ever so slightly. Other than that, whether it's in or out, here's the difference. It's in right now. It's out. You hear the difference there. And I'm not going to yell. Mm-hmm. That would be nasty. Okay, so then we've got the BBE Sonic Maximizer. I know you don't have one of these, but these are good. Definitely need to add one of these to your audio rig, whether you're doing TV or audio broadcasting. I want to show you what the difference is. So Sasha, if you can just maybe give me a sound check with the BBE Sonic Maximizer. You see how simple this device is. Just give me a sound check.
1, 2.
It's
check,
on.
Check.
I'm going to turn that off. Now you can
Okay.
hear, we sound like we're in a telephone,
Oh,
right? It doesn't sound as nice. Give me another sound
it'll
check.
be tinny. Check 1, 2. Check,
It
check.
kind of just has just not a nice full sound as when I turn it on. Watch this. There, now we've got the BBE Sonic Maximizer turned on. And give me another sound
Okay,
check.
check 1, 2. Check, check.
See how much of a difference that one little piece makes?
Okay.
And so that's an important part of your chain as well. Sonic Maximizer is the most important thing. It doesn't have to be, or pardon me, the Ultramizer Pro is the most important thing in your mix. Definitely. By far. Because it's going to fix all your levels. If you're doing audio broadcasting, you got to have it.
I have a question. Did you do anything? TikTok is saying he has no sound at this point.
Oh,
Is that
me.
something? It's not you? Okay. Okay. Well,
I know
you
what
can't.
she's thinking. Oh,
What?
you're showing the
What's going
audio
on?
rack.
What are you doing? Did
No,
you
I can
break
see-
something?
We can see our levels. We can see.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. That was a great question.
Yeah.
I have another question here.
Well, can I just wrap up
Oh.
the thought?
Oh.
Just when it comes to this kind of audio rig, what was I thinking? Yeah, okay. If you're doing any kind of broadcasting, the compressor, that's the word you're looking for. Compressor, gate, limiter, those are very, very important. Sonic Maximizer process, the BBE Sonic Maximizer, that's very, very good as an enhancement to any audio chain. Whether you're doing music, live music, recording, or studio work like this, podcasts, video vodcasts, that's going to help. But the Ultramizer is critical. People say, well, what would be the best thing for me to buy for my audio rig? And it's going to be a compressor. Plain and simple.
Okay.
You saw why. You saw why that's so important. So.
Excellent.
Thank you so much for the question. I hope that helps. I did walk through some of our settings there to give you an idea how we have it set up currently. That works for us, but it may not work for you. So don't be afraid to just tweak things. You really have to read the manual with an Ultramizer Pro. I know it's daunting. You got to understand all this stuff.
Yeah, it seems ultra complicated to me, but
It's not complicated as far as interface goes. They've done really, really well, Behringer, with the setup. And mine's one of the first gen, so yours may vary a little bit as far as the buttons, controls, and stuff. But it's hearing it and understanding what people are hearing on the other end. You've got to record and then play back, and record and play back, and keep doing that until you get the sound that you're looking for. And do it with the devices that people are going to be using. So for me, I had to do all my testing through PC speakers.
right, exactly.
Not a pair of headphones, because my headphones are going to sound great probably no matter what I do, because they've got full sound. So good luck.
Invincible Mutant wants to know
Yes.
if there's any software that does the same
Well, I'll
thing.
tell you what. Excellent question, Invincible Mutant. If you record a podcast that is audio only, and then you post-process, then you can use software to do it. There's a program called Levelator that will do fantastic work for you. Really, really simple. Just drag and drop a WAV file onto it. It will clean up and level everything for you. But it's really just for speech, talking.
Okay.
But it does a very, very similar kind of thing. It makes sure the levels are audibly the same. But it's all post-process. Goldwave, I mentioned earlier. Goldwave.com has compressors as well built into it. FL Studio Producer Edition has some great digital compressors. But again, these are all post-process, so it doesn't happen in real time. We do what we do live, so it has to be able to be processed live. There can't be any latency, so you notice there's no delay when I speak. There's no post-processing going on and then streaming. It's all live.
Oh.
So that's kind of the difference. Software is good for pre-recorded stuff that you want to touch up and then upload.
Right.
Fantastic for that. But what we do is live, so everything is done live. And that's where hardware comes in.
Excellent.
Yes. Thanks for the question.
Thank you. I have another question. Hi, Robbie and team.
Hey.
Being a fan of Mate, Desktop Myself, I just had to flinch again. Finally, I thought I'd let you know. Mate is not pronounced mate, as in buddy, but
Here we go.
mate,
Is this Eric?
as in mate tea. Makes
Yeah.
me recall the old Ubuntu days. as always.
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
Yeah. Hey, to be fair, Ubuntu is not something that I came into tech having in my vocabulary.
Right.
And okay, let's look at Mate.
And it's Kamomi. Kamomi, I believe the question is from, or the comment is from.
Okay. Here's Mate.
Or Mate.
Sure. What do you notice? Il n'y a pas d'accent aigu.
Ah.
Think about that, eh? We live in Canada.
It looks like Mate.
J'ai besoin d'un accent aigu à dire matin. Oui?
I didn't know you spoke French.
No. Un petit. So, if you want to put an acute accent over the E,
right.
do it.
You can do it easily.
You could, but
so
they don't. So I know it's supposed to be Mate.
So are you going to now change what you say? Or are you sticking? Are you like being a grammar purist and saying without the accent?
If you're gonna tell me it's Mate, then spell it correctly. Put an acute accent over the E. Maybe it's the Canadianism. I'm not. I suppose that would be. Would that be Spanish? If it didn't have the acute accent. So, being in Canada, we would expect that there is an accent.
How would you ever know? Mate. You would not know.
It's Mate. Or Mate. You want me to start doing that? How do you like that?
Yeah, well, try reading the name Siobhan for the first time.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't know that either.
Just saying. Thanks for the comment. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question from Rossi D. Nelson.
Hey.
I saw the show demonstrating the use of the Spark Booth software and the Windows Live Cam in photo booths. Mm-hmm. On the show, I noticed some of the photos had some motion blur, and I was wondering if the Live Cam had exposure controls for taking care of this.
Right, okay. We've talked about it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say, don't worry about that. I'll explain. We've talked about webcams in the past. Webcams require what? To get rid of any blur focusing issues? Light. Oh. Really good light. Now, when we did the live demonstration of the photo booth, as we built it in studio, we had them sit across the room and turned, what did we do? We turned one of the lights, right? Insufficient lighting source for a real product demonstration because there wasn't enough light to get full exposure from the camera. And we didn't do any tweaks. We didn't set anything to manual mode, I don't think. It was just kind of a test to make sure that the software would work. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. There was a bit of a blur because there wasn't enough light. Now, we did a follow-up episode after the wedding, and the photo booth worked fantastically well, just so you know. It looked great. I'm going to do a quick search on our website, Category5TV, for the photo booth is what I searched for. Let's see if I can find it here. Looks like 286 is the most recent one to talk about the photo booth.
For those who prefer
Let's see. Do I have any samples?
Oh,
that's actually one of the photos from the demonstration. So yeah, I hear. So 286 was the episode that you probably watched. So that was the live demo. So I know that we've done it. The photos turned out fantastically well. I'd be happy to share them with you. We'd just have to track down where it is, and we probably don't.
So it's all about lighting.
Creating episode 304, Abigail was on. It could have been that. It's all about lighting. So when we've set up the booth itself, oh, here we go. So episode number 304, we actually covered it. Notice how easy it is to search our website. It's now in the past. Hard to believe,
yeah. We'll be 2 months soon.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Feel good to be a married woman.
It's
Mrs.
horrible.
Page.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any. Wedding was beautiful. I mean, you were stunning, obviously.
Great weather, too.
It was perfect
fantastic.
weather.
Wasn't hot or anything like that.
I had the privilege of following Abigail around with a video camera. You can actually watch. There you go. It's there. Check it out.
That is the episode?
That is the episode, 304. Starts at 6 minutes and 41 seconds in. Really easy to find. So
excellent. Very good
Episode
question.
304. Yeah. And it worked out fantastically. There was no motion blur during the event. They crammed a whole bunch of people into that photo booth. It looked fantastic. She printed them afterward and mailed them to everybody, and it was just a hit.
Oh, that's awesome.
It really was great.
What a good idea for any event, really.
I think so. And it went off without a hitch, so.
All right. I have a question from Code Rats.
Hey, Code Rat.
I have watched episode 330, and I have a small technical question.
All right.
How do you catch HDMI output from D5100?
Right.
Which device was used? Was HDMI stream encrypted? And were there any problems catching stream besides resolution that you already mentioned?
Okay. We have
Lots of
multiple
questions.
different capture devices in our broadcast server.
Right.
And I know where you're going with this, because the D5100, when we were doing episode 330, we demonstrated everything from HDMI, will not work on a Blackmagic Intensity Pro. Reason being, the Blackmagic Intensity Pro is very, very particular about resolution. It has to be to spec. If you plug in a device into the Blackmagic Intensity Pro and it is not exactly 1280 by 720, if it is not exactly 1920 by 1080, then it will just be a black screen. It requires the source to be very specific,
An exact.
supported dimensions.
Oh.
Okay. Coming off the D5100, the resolution is not a supported dimension by the Blackmagic Intensity Pro. So we plugged it into a different card, which I happen to have the box here. And this was the AverMedia, it's the gamer card. Why don't they say the name? Game Broadcaster HD. It's a cheap card. Sometimes cheap is best when it comes to doing crazy things, because it worked.
Well.
But that's it. Game Broadcaster HD. It's the cheapest card that we have. The box is hilarious. I love this.
Oh, look at that.
Never waste another second on searching for the right one for your gaming resolutions. The Game Broadcaster HD covers a good variety of gaming video requirements perfectly well.
Wow.
It works, and I won't read the whole thing to you. It's very entertaining, but you have to read it with
Enthusiasm and an
Emphasis.
emphasis.
Yes, absolutely.
Into your Behringer thingamabobber.
Yes, absolutely. There you go. That's the card.
Thanks,
It works.
Conrad.
And here's something interesting. I understand that the D5100 is apparently encrypted feed or whatever, copy protected. I don't know why they did that. Obviously, you're the one creating the video. This card says capturing HD content with HDCP, high bandwidth digital content protection, is not supported. So it says it doesn't support it. It does. Does that?
Oh.
Not that it does support content protection, but it supports the D5100. So does that confuse things at all? Weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, we've got a little bit more time. Thank you very much for your question. Thank you, everybody who sent in your questions. Very little time. Do you have a quick one?
Do we have? Well, let me just see. While I'm looking, let's do. This is a question from Orange Man. I am looking for some software so that I can do some desktop publishing. I was using the program from Microsoft Publisher 2007. It used for processing booklets for the church. The content of the booklets will have pictures and text. It has to run on Linux and Windows 7 and have a professional finish. The software is urgently needed. It has a deadline of Easter.
Okay.
Which is April 21st.
Sorry, this comes to us from...
Oh, this is a question...
Orange Man.
Orange Man, yes.
Orange Man, thank you for the email. The one that comes to mind is called Scribus or Scribus, however you spell it. I'm going to do a quick search here. I think it's... Yes, Scribus.net. And I think as far as the professional polish goes, there's the website Scribus or Scribus.net. Not sure how to say it. We'll go with Scribus. Scribus probably, isn't it?
It's probably Scribus, yeah.
But so I like Scribus because it sounds like something Eric will make fun of. I think that as far as the polishing aspect goes, it all comes from experience. So you've got very little time to learn the software, read some tutorials, get into it. I'm not into it, so unfortunately I'm not much more help than directing you there. But I do know that it's a good application, it's active, and it's what most likely what you're looking for. Key thing is it's free. Okay, It's also available for Linux, BSD, Solaris, Open Indiana, whatever GNU heard, Mac OS, OS2. Awesome. And Windows. Okay, so it works on your OS2 computer as well as your Windows computer. So, fantastic.
Excellent.
Thanks for the question.
Wow.
Hope that helps. How
out of time for
How
questions
did we get
already.
All out of time.
We're all out
Thanks
of time.
For sending them in. Keep them coming live at Category5.TV.
Next week, Krista Wells.
Yeah, we haven't seen her lately.
So
nice
there
to see
you
her.
go. She'll join you to teach how to create a space scene from scratch using GNU image manipulation program.
I can't wait. This is going to be fun.
What was this?
We're going to make an outer space scene
No
from scratch.
way.
Like with just us and GIMP, a free photo editor.
Awesome.
We're going to build it. Draw it, if you will. So don't miss that.
It's been another great hour, another
It's been
great
fun.
week.
Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Sasha.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Have a great week. We'll see you next Tuesday. Night.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Category 5 TV broadcasts live from Barrie, Ontario, Canada every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on demand or through cable TV, check out the local show times in your area at Category5.TV and find out when you can watch live and interact in the community chat room. Category 5 is a production of Prodigy Digital Solutions and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.5 Canada. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.